Welcome back to Factorio, building the Hyperbase. Alright, a little bit of time happened since last time so that I could build out down here, which I've done. You can see we're missing flashing lights. We still have a few things left. Beacons, we need power, we probably need radars, but otherwise it's largely built out. This area needs a little bit of revision, but can be built out as well. What else? Oh, we've had a delivery, a full train of the processing units and speed module 1s to modules. The fascinating thing here, of course, is there's no more flashing lights. We have all of the modules in place. But unfortunately, because they haven't been topped up on processing units, we do have a handful of modules, but not nearly enough to do anything useful with after this exercise. So we're waiting on the next shipment. 18k. That's getting close-ish. Maybe it's just halfway. 18k and 9.5k is sort of like halfway, I suppose. There's a reasonable number of material in here. I guess we're waiting to... It doesn't pull off these trains evenly, which is a bit of an issue. It's always an issue with these sorts of bot builds. Waiting for this last one, and it won't leave until this is empty, so that is... yeah, it's kind of a little problem. But it shouldn't be very long, and it shouldn't take very long to fill back up, because over here we have filled up requester chests waiting to transfer their supply. In fact, we also look like we're nowhere near fill. So we are probably waiting on a copper train to come down. That must be an iron train. Copper. I've had to muck around with how I'm doing this. I'm still not convinced it's the right way. I basically now have this one read the amount of copper plate. And actually I've got it set to 80k, which is basically all of this plus another load. And at the moment you can see there is basically nothing in storage. There is a bit here, it's not enough, so it's not letting, it's leaving this open rather than letting that train go up there. This train is not completely full. It needs 80,000. It's not completely full because it's waiting for this one to fill up. This one, it's not bot. I mean, occasionally it looks like it is, but you can see that basically a bot will come along, completely clear these, so it's not like more bots would actually help this process very much. We just don't have a high enough productivity mining for filling this up fast enough to meet the demands here. So not a lot I can do about that except let time pass. And what else? This plastic train seems to be working quite well, but there is an issue, and it's an issue I think I'm going to address. One thing you should notice right up, and this is heading in the direction of how we're going to address this. This is only one lane width, and it takes one extra input, being the coal, and there's one lane of output, being the plastic. I think this is a perfect candidate for us actually doing direct train insert, and I say that because if you look at this, we're getting bots traveling all the way along here like this. I really don't like that. It is not conducive to high performance in terms of our UPS. It should just be feeding directly like this, but it's not for some reason. We're getting cross ones heading up like this. The way the controller works is obviously not quite as friendly as I would like. I don't think I have it as bad as this around circuits. It seems to be this is particularly bad for some reason. But in any event, if we were to change this so that it was directly train fed, we'd get rid of all these bots, we'd get rid of all these extra inserters, and we'd just have insert coal directly, or it'd go via a chest directly into these machines, and it would come out into a chest into the trains. So the one issue with that is we would go down from 3 inserters loading up the train to just 1 per carriage, which is basically, if I get into my calculator, I think the carriages take about 4,000. Where did that train end up? Oh, it's here. This is not where I wanted it. I wanted it to go down here. But according to the averages, this is fine. It's actually waiting on copper. But anyway, yeah, so 2,000 at this point. I think they're 4,000 per carriage for 80,000 in total. So if you're able to do about 27 per second, that gives you 1,620 a minute from a single stack inserter, or sort of 2.5 minutes of loading time. Now I think, and we'll see as soon as this gets back up here, but I think, and all of these are fully specced out in terms of beacons as well, beacons and modules. But these are not fully loaded. So what happens is what we do have here gets emptied out very fast, and then it's waiting on the production. Now we'd actually reduce the production by about 10%, because there's 22 machines, I believe. Let me just check that for you. Yes, 22. If we had one of these per train carriage, we'd only have 20, so we'd have to reduce production by 10%. That train should be, here it is, coming in very shortly. I don't have a timer set up ready to go, but you'll notice these things tend to empty pretty quickly. They weren't completely full. And then we're waiting anyway. So at this point we're at 1.9. More than half of it we're just waiting for it to be delivered one by one, and we've got too many inserters for the load that's now getting delivered. Some of them have fared a little bit better. That uneven distribution would go away if it was being loaded 1 per. We'd reduce the number of inserters by 3-fold in terms of this part, and obviously no bots. So I think that's a good idea. I don't want to necessarily become a complete trains only stop, but I do want to do that. Now the other thing that's holding us up, or the other thing that I did actually, was I have created this builder set of armor as opposed to that one, which is our legs. I'm going to install the builder set, and that's all you have to do to install it. Nope. That's all you have to do to install it. So that will give everything time to charge up. I have on me some speed modules and some prod modules. To try and get the module build working a bit faster, I want to come down here and see if I can get some speed modules on to mainly where the processing units are, but these things would help as well. So that's the intention. The only problem with this is if we're not careful, it will put these modules somewhere where I don't want them. I think it's safe coming down through here because this is already fully moduled out. We'll have to be just a bit careful further down. And yeah, this plane is really slow, but I guess it does carry a lot of stuff, or can do. Don't really need to module that one up. It's definitely this one that we particularly need to deal with. So let's kind of head up the middle and see if it will prioritize the bits that I want. A bit of luck. These modules have just come from main base, by the way. Oop, it's going up too far. Come back here, do the ones I want. Now that should help a bit. Let's just have a look at P. 1 minute. We're doing... Oh, not modules, these things. 700. There you go, that's 800. Yes, I was expecting it to get up to at least 800 per minute, which is actually starting to get quite good. Because I think the 5 of them are supposed to do just a bit over 4,000, so we expected about 800. And now that we're there, this should fill up quite a bit faster. Are we all done as far as modules go? Not quite. Right, well, you can put them on anything now. Takes its time to think about these things. That's it. What about these guys? There you go. No. Why have you given up asking for modules? Ah, because you don't take... you need speed modules, of course. Never mind. At least the processing units are happening a lot faster, which will certainly help. Okay, that's probably... actually, what's on the plane? Not that much. It's not particularly useful, but the plane can probably help us over at the rail if we tackle that little project. Uh-oh. Well, I won't have any spare rail soon. I guess I'll have a little bit more space on board. This has to be done sometime. The bots should recharge by themselves without needing to be helped a lot faster with this setup. And I have 200 of them as well. Actually, I have 175 because I dropped 50 off. We've done enough of that now, guys. Come on. No, stop doing that. So I mean, all this building will definitely go a little bit better if we had a little bit more... If we had some infinite research. Of course, we can't really do that because we don't have any means to get the space science. So we're kind of in a catch-22. But it does kind of suggest to me that I would like to finish up an initial RCU build as well. Get some silos up and satellites, and actually generate a little bit of space science, so that perhaps we could knock off a little bit of the researchers that will help us out. does interfere with the other things that we're trying to do over at, where are we? Straight up. Excuse me. Over at the main base, such as building out the solar, supporting module building, etc., etc. So whatever we do, it's not without its cost. We're kind of in that period of time that happens in every sort of mega base where you just need lots of things to get built before you can really keep pushing on with the design and so on. Okay, here we are. Let's get out of this noisy thing. Oh yeah, if I chain in very slow armor, that's the only problem. Did that go to the one that I wanted it to? Yes, I do believe it did. So we're unloading. No. How much plastic have you got here anyway? 95,000, so it's quite a bit. It really is the copper that is the problem. You haven't run out of fuel again, have you? No. It's just very slow. I might need to module this up. Of course, we don't have any modules for moduling all this up. Module it up, maybe even push them all together and have twice as many. I don't really want to do that either. But there's a few gaps here that we could add a few to. But yeah, we really are noticing how slow loading up this ore train is at the moment. Alright, oil. So, if we were to do something about oil, I don't have anything on board, do I? We would need rail down here, so we'd need to push everything up to. I don't have any of them either. So the idea would be plastic would basically come in along here. Kind of don't want to interfere with the plastic, that's my problem. Guess I'll let this one go and then I will start doing things. But yeah, plastic would come in here. This would probably have to get lowered into where the actual coal and plastic goes at the moment. And we would have to lose two of these. We'd probably have to move. Why don't I grab my noisy plane? Maybe even do the move of the sulfuric now, because that should be relatively easy. So I'm basically saying that I think I want to move this slot out of here and put it probably just, stack another one over here. That should be fine. I wonder if I have that build amongst these, or whether these are just other things. They look like they're just other things. Well, let's just make another blueprint then. So I want to get that and add another one. Get rid of it before we put too many blueprints into our collection, and hopefully we don't pick up too much junk this way. what I want to do is that. Where's this going? Okay. Don't need those anymore. Don't need that anymore. Don't need that anymore. Okay, I think we do need those bits. Let's come over here. Drop all this down. Looks like we're missing a few beacons. Wooden chests. What happened to the wooden chests? Oh. This is now an issue. But we could come out here. I do have some landfill, good. Let's just landfill this then. And what happened to the pump? There it is. Okay, so this just needs some power, which because we and some beacons, you can have that stuff. You can have that stuff, and you can have that stuff, and we've got a little bit we can't get rid of. There, all done. Or is it? Probably is. So, yeah, this is all still happening. This is going to be a little bit more awkward. Let me just come back to about here and go pop. Because that's where we want to come in. That would mean not going to be able to leave this as it stands. We might want to go up one. In fact, I think the best solution is probably just to rip up the whole thing. Rip it all up. We're going to fill up with junk really fast. Not going to need these guys. Oops, not up there, down here. And let's get rid of some of that, and some of that. Guys, what's the problem? Oh, you guys don't have anywhere to go. Yeah. We're missing a bot because of something. Alright, so the idea is I should get rid of this rail as well. Alright, have something to work with, probably not enough length. What amounts to being stupid, actually. Stupidly let the train, not the train, this guy sit somewhere that wanted the stuff, and so now we don't have any. Yeah, we need it. No, don't go down there with that stuff. Need you back here. Okay. For the moment, I might get out, and you'll see how painfully slow no legs are. Oops. Oh, have you been auto-trashing that? Hopefully not. Yes, this would suggest we are probably going to have to move all of the sulfuric as well. Do you have construction bots? No. Alright. Ideally we'll use that still. So no. We would want a 1, 2. Okay, not there. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Yes, that's joy, isn't it? Because I guess what we could have happen now is if this is actually one further over. That could be in there. That's not going to reach, but a long-handed would, but it would load even slower, which would not work. We need them to load faster than that. So, if that gets pushed up one, I don't think that's a good thing either, because that's kind of perfect. We have two stack inserters. Well, actually, they need to be around the other way, because if it's plastic coming off, it'd be going that way. I need a wagon as well to measure this. 2, 4, 6. Yes, that's what I thought we'd basically get. That should be the distance of a wagon. How fast do these machines produce is the other question. It was 8.1875 and 1.3 or something, wasn't it? Let's have a look. We've got them over here. Can't see because there is no... I think we need to swap these guys around. We need radars over here. Oh, we've actually got no power at all because of my disconnecting of these things. Not as smart as I thought I was, perhaps. It's better. So, yeah, 8.1875 and 1.3. It's 2 a second. So if we do 2 times 60 times 8.1875 times 1.3, it's making 1277 a minute. A stack inserter can unload it fast enough. A red inserter cannot unload it fast enough, and two of them aren't going to do it either. We may have to let this one be coal, and the plastic comes in above, because coal is only 1 required per second. So we could more easily cope with this kind of mechanism if it was going the other way and it was coal. I need to make sure that a train fits here properly as well. Alright, let's run back to base. Run. Oh goodness, this is so slow. Maybe I should have called my train up. Probably should have. we're going to need all that stuff, so there's no point. There's no point grabbing my train and going, well, is there? Maybe there is. Where are we? Oh, that's all on board me. It's not on board this silly plane. What's on board that? Lots of coal. Well, we could always come into a look at that later. Right, let's come down here, get our train. Very slow aircraft are not helping us that much. Main base. Okay. What are we after? We're after a locomotive. No, we're after a wagon, basically. That was the principal purpose of coming here. Let's just quickly top up on these guys as well, because I know that we were short on them. Oh, and I used some of those, so let's replace them. No, I probably can't, because I don't think I've actually put them... Oh, yes, I have. They are in the network. Good. Okay, back to oil. B oil 1. At least while we're on a train, we can have a look at the base. You can see how big our solar's getting. We have done 16 rows now. So this is starting the 17th row. Oh, there's another fairly large iron up there. That's nice. We'll shortly be moving over to start the second column. Has this been supplied with... Yes, but not much is going on. Because what? Cause what? Why aren't you running? Don't know. I may have closed this off so that it will only produce 50, which is not good. It will mean I have to come down here and do some requests just so these machines will empty out. Because we have resources, but we only have 300 module 3s, which is no good. Anyway, we're at oil. So, let's just see... where are those locos? Here we go. So if we had that sort of arrangement, that would kind of work perfectly, wouldn't it? For this sort of thing. Oh, I didn't get the long-handed. But that's not going to work. It needs to... That one... That's not going to work regardless of what I do. glucose, where are they? There. So that is kind of the idea. There's only one there. Needs to be wider anyway. I may have to do a little bit of design off camera and come back with a solution, because this is not quite working to plan. Yeah, we're fully two units too few. Unless we run with less speed up, which is possible. Not a huge fan of that idea. It's too far away anyway. So is that. So this, the way we've set that up is no good. At the very least, that's no good. Yeah, guys, I think I will, to save you sort of long, pregnant pauses while I try and sort this out, I will take this offline and show you a design, hopefully, well, for you very soon. Alright, this didn't actually take too long. So basically that, we've got a double stack inserter down here. We actually have, well, we've got three at top and bottom, I guess. That needs another one of those. And yeah, that seems to work. The only thing it doesn't account for is power, but power we can, because we won't have these guys, I mean, that covers all the way up to there, and from this end it covers all the way down to there, so we'll be covered with substations on the other side of the rails, and we need this 20 times over. So, blueprint, one, okay, that doesn't matter, I don't think. We actually can probably do something more efficient then with the power. We can move these guys over one. Place power. One substation in the middle. And try that again. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, oops, there's a thing in the way. I've lost count now, of course, too. So I'll have to do that count again. I'm guessing that that's the right number. we can check. If we do this, should be 20. It is good. So yeah, we have to reverse coal. But do we? Is there any good reason why we have to reverse where the coal comes in? Because I don't really want to. These would have to move if we move where plastic and coal are. But coal is coming in here. I don't really want these two to cross over just because they have to, because this is forcing them to do so. Let's see if we can rearrange this, even though I've carefully just set it up. You know, we don't actually really have to change a thing. There's no reason why coal can't daisy chain through like that. I mean, obviously this is not how it's going to work. And then the plastic can just go like that will. Yeah, you don't need those, mate. Oh, you've stolen them from there. Okay. So plastic would come down here now. Fine. All we are changing is the angle of these. So you just filter out those. And we will make a new blueprint. Redo this. One needs to go the other way. We missed it in every single one. Alright. It may be time to swap over the armors. Don't take that one out first, that causes an explosion. This should get all of this stuff laid down. We probably won't have enough stack inserters, we'll have to steal them from up here. Oh yeah. We may need some extra steel chests as well. we are missing some. So now this is plastic. Assuming I can make a line out of this one. We'll have to do some fix up to sulfuric acid at a later time. For now, rail. There we go. I do have train stops on me, so that needs to go to exactly there, which will very shortly be able to do. You're now that. You are no more. So, Mr. Cole, you're actually going to come through this lower location. It looks like we've missed all of the inserters, these ones as well, just to make it a matching number. If I get this one here to join up, if we have enough, we probably do not. That back in. So we're going to need a little bit more rail to go along here. I will let's do that trick with those again, and let's just rip out all of the stack inserters without having to take everything. Hopefully we get a few extras. So we definitely need some more steel chests. It says 20, does that make sense? Hard to say. I potentially back this coal train up? Yes, it's the only one that's there. Let's get the faster legs again. I do believe I don't have enough rail to make all of these amendments, but I'll do what we can. So this one has turned too soon. Oops. You can see why I intended this set to be for my being on board the plane, but the plane's so slow that it brings upon its own issues, doesn't it? It brings about its own issues. Oh. I think that is where we still want that. Now this whole arrangement is going to have to be modified a little bit. Let's just see exactly where we need the rail to come up. Basically right through that whole component. And we won't have enough rail anyway. Except that we actually do have enough rail. Alright. We may have to swap over that. Which iron is there in there? Just 100. Does that fit? Ooh. Yes, it does, but that's too far. Okay. Actually, that's still too far. Well, we tried. This one doesn't appear to actually be getting fed at all, which is probably not surprising because that's probably the extra bit that we added at the beginning of the show. And you need a, well, we're going to have a few of those soon. You there. Go to there. Why can't you do that? we've got this here, okay. Excellent. Now, the other thing that we need, obviously, is a signal. Just there. That looks okay. It's not in the middle of them, but beggars can't be choosers. Oh, I see, it's because we're missing those bits. Well guys, that is the general idea. Do I have an... no, I don't think I do. Oh, no. No, I don't have enough. Oh, excuse me. That's the general idea. We'll get rid of all the bots that way, and yeah, hopefully I can have this going for next episode. Thanks for joining me for this, and I look forward to seeing you in the next. Bye bye for now.